The weather is not only delaying the start of the sports season outdoors, but also the gardening season. And in this week's Northwoods Adventure, Shane Lee went to a fruit tree grafting workshop to learn how tree growers can get a head start.
Fruit trees are unlike any other plants in that planting a seed may get you a tree, but not necessarily any fruit. In order to increase the probability of growing a fruit-bearing tree, grafting is the preferred method.
Grafting is the art of skillfully joining together two pieces of plant tissue. It's typically done with dormant plant material.
Fruit growers gathered at the Central Lakes College Agriculture and Energy Center field office in Staples for the grafting workshop in mid-March. Participants ranged from beginners to 30-year veterans like Marcia Rapids.
I want to brush up on my skills, and I've actually learned some new things that I didn't know before, so that's really nice.
Grafting begins by pairing a rootstock with a cutting or scion of the desired species of plant. The workshop instructed people to use branches from the current year's growth, which can be identified by the buds.
There's individual buds. Here we have spurs.
A scion should include about 3 buds and should match the diameter of the root stock.
I start out by making a very steep cut. The idea we're striving for, Shane, is to get a feather edge here at the end of the cut, and that takes a little bit of practice to do. So I'm going to continue cutting on this like that.
After whittling to a nice feathered edge, it is time to cut a tongue about 1/3 of the distance from the toe to the heel of the cut area.
I'm going to cut a tongue as thin as I can to about the 2/3 point on my cut.
Now that the root stock is cut, the scion needs to be trimmed to match.
First, I'm going to turn the first bud downward like this, and I'm going to start my cuts on the opposite side to that bud.
The scion also needs a tongue, and both pieces receive back cuts to make sure the living green tissue layer on each part matches. Then just slide the pieces together, wrap the joint, and dip it in wax.
One of the biggest challenges in growing fruit trees in Minnesota is the long winter, but the cold temperatures can actually be a blessing.
The positive is we just don't have as many the insect and disease pressure that they have farther south.
McCammett says the low impact of diseases translates to about a 95% survival rate for newly planted apple trees, even during drought conditions like in 2012.
If they're watered, it's not a problem.
The workshop certainly provided a fruitful experience. Shane Lee, Lakeland News.
If you've enjoyed this segment of Lakeland News, please consider making a tax-deductible contribution to Lakeland Public Television.